Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Office Bloke Aidan.
I'm Gaynor.
I'm Sophie.
Today we've got 6 ways British and American hotels are very different by Lost in the Pond.
Yes.
You love going to a hotel, don't you?
So,
Yeah.
I never eat breakfast, but I love eating breakfast in a hotel. I just think.
Well, but you never
just
do.
the whole experience.
Pardon?
But you never eat breakfast.
No, when I get up in the morning, I don't eat breakfast. But when I go to a
Oh,
hotel.
I thought you meant I thought you were just saying I never do it in a hotel, but I love eating breakfast at a hotel, but I never have breakfast in a hotel. I thought that's what you were saying.
No.
I love it. I just love like the service and just the food and.
I just
nice
love
and
being
chill.
able to get up and there's bacon already ready and eggs already ready, you know. At home, if I go into my kitchen, it's just me that does it.
Oh.
Aidan doesn't cook for you.
I know, who
Aidan
would have
doesn't
thought?
cook.
Who would have thought?
Sunday you will be there, won't you?
Yeah.
Mother's Day.
Oh yeah, I wonder what you're about then.
Alright, let's get into it. How hotels are different in the US and America.
This is the word we use for what Americans might call a bellboy or a bellhop. Hello, I'm Lawrence and I'm on a quest to uncover all of the memos that Britain and America lost in the pond, and one of those memos pertains to hotels, or as they're known in Britain, hotels. I mean, it's the same. And of course, as a certified YouTube sensation, I've done my fair bit of world travel, right? Just off the top of my head, I've been to Britain, America, you know, and from that, I've stayed in quite a few hotels, so I know what I'm talking about. But when it comes to the two countries, whether you're just looking for a quick getaway or something discreet, it is worth learning that hotels in Britain aren't necessarily the same as their American counterparts. And so without further ado, let's metaphorically ding one of those bells at reception as I uncover ways that British and American hotels are very different. You know, when I was out there for the first time on the American open road, living the hotel lifestyle on my honeymoon, the first confusing thing that I noticed is that elevators in American hotels, and as it turns out, everywhere else, insist upon taking you to different floors to what they would in Britain. Lawrence, what do you mean by that? Well, here's how elevators / lifts, we'll get into terminology later, work in Britain. The floor where I enter the hotel and speak to reception and ask them if they have any free dental floss is known in Britain as the ground floor. When you enter the elevator, you press G to stay on the ground floor. Nobody would ever do that. Or number 1 to go up to the floor above. Or number 2 above that, 3 above that, and you get my drift. But in America, I don't know why my hand is still up there, in America it's a little bit different, because that same floor where I enter the hotel and talk to reception and ask them for some free dental floss and they actually know what dental floss is the first floor, and this is usually denoted in the elevator by the number 1. So the floor immediately above that is 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then 5, and then I'm a little bit hazy after that. And then you get to your room, and this is where those pan-Atlantic differences really take shape. Or, should I say, size, because there's one key rule. On the whole, British hotel rooms tend to be smaller than their American counterparts. And the reason for this, as we all know, is that America marginally out-freedoms Britain. But it's also...
Going back to that lifts, do you ever say elevator?
Yeah.
Do you? But in our like apartment block, ours says on the ground floor it says 0.
Does it?
Yeah, and then it says
Do you
0
know?
on the main floor, on like the lobby floor, and then it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it goes -1 if you're going down.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of places do that now, you know, where it's 0 instead of ground.
Do you have a lift in yours?
No.
No.
I wish. Yeah, no.
No.
I've just got to cart everything upstairs.
No. That's the annoying thing.
What?
Carting everything up and down.
Yeah. But it's price you pay in it, you know.
Yeah.
Or it's someone's messing about with the lift, where you just press the button and the next thing you see it go down, up, down, and everyone getting in and out, in and out. Oh, Jesus, I'll take the stairs.
Yeah, might as well.
But also, when he was saying there that normally the reception is on the first floor,
Yeah.
the ground floor,
Mm.
in Manchester there's a lot of quirky hotels, and the Gotham,
Yeah.
the reception's on the top floor, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Reception on like 6th floor or something.
Something like that, yeah. So you go in,
Interesting.
And then, yeah.
as you go in, it's just the lift and the what do you call them? What's it called? Bellend, the bellboy. What do they call them here though?
I've no idea.
Cold what?
When you go in and the man that helps you with your bags and everything, what's he called? Is he called over there? They're called a bellboy.
I don't know. I just call him like a
Bob.
Yeah.
There you go,
I
Bob.
just call him mate, you're right, mate.
Hiya, sir.
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir.
I don't remember what they're called over here.
I don't even think they've ever got a name.
Oh, that's good.
A maitre d'? No,
No, the
that's-
maitre d' is the one that takes you to your table in a restaurant. God, I can't remember
Can't
what they're
think of
called
the
over
name.
here.
No one even takes my bags and brings them up anyway.
No, because you have to give them a tip. I'll do my own.
I just call him like the not a receptionist. No.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
Because he works like for the
Because
reception.
there's just like a little reception thing, isn't there?
No, but when you pull up outside a hotel, they're outside and they open the door for you and help you with your bags.
Oh, I've never had that in a hotel I've been in.
Ah, okay. I'll remember the name. I can't remember.
But if you were like a higher end one.
Because Britain is about a 40th the size of the United States. And so we just sort of cram things in. In fact, awkwardly, a tiny British hotel room was where I first met my in-laws. And they were staying in a room about the size of this studio, which surprisingly, given that I am often dubbed America's finest British import, is not that big. And at the best of time, I don't like being in close proximity to humans. So being squashed in a room with my future in-laws was the second most horrifying experience of my life. And I know what you're thinking. Ooh, Lawrence, what was the first? Being squashed in the elevator with them on the way up. But the next time we met in an American hotel, we sure did have a chuckle. At least I think we did. I couldn't hear them because they were on the other side of the room. You see, American hotel rooms, like cars or portion sizes or America itself, are just bigger. I mean, they'd have to be, right? Especially given what we've discovered on this channel about the differences in bed sizes. And of course, a bed is not the only place in a hotel room where you lie down. In addition to the bed, the sofa, and in desperate times the closet, which should prompt nobody to ask me about the coat hanger incident of 1998, there is also the bathtub. And I know what you're thinking. Yes, Lawrence, the British bathtub has separate taps for hot and cold. Well, firstly, that's not always true. And secondly, that's not where I was going with this. I was actually going to mention the floor height. Because while in America, the bathroom floor and the bottom of the bathtub are more or less level with each other, this is often not the case in Britain. To go from the floor to the bathtub, you often have to kind of step up because the bottom of the bathtub is higher up than the floor. And it's one thing to remember this getting in, but getting out when your feet are wet and soapy, it could lead to an unintentionally hilarious TikTok video. In fact, I do have footage, but I can't show it on here because I'd get hundreds of complaints and an equal number of marriage proposals. So just take my word for it. Electric plugs are of course found in many places and through much of our daily lives, but never more do I need them than when I'm in a hotel. So because of this, it is worth remembering some of the key differences between British and American plug sockets. But don't take my word for it, instead listen to me from last year. It was once said by me in just a second from now that you can tell a lot about a country by the size of its plugs, and given its unparalleled record of boasting larger stuff than everyone else, America might fancy its chances of winning the "my plug's bigger than your plug" debate. But the truth is, and you might find this shocking, British plugs are larger. You can't talk about AC plugs without talking about prongs. Prongs are the protruding sticks of metal that keep the plugger joined to the wall like a docked plane. And the only reason I made an aviation simile there was to draw your attention to the miniature control tower I made from British and American adapters while I was bored. Anyway, there are several key differences in this department. On British plugs, the prongs are ever so slightly longer and crucially thicker. This makes them sturdier and impossible to bend. How do I know that? Because I was 14 once. But whereas British plugs, that is, Type G plugs, are decidedly triple-pronged, that's not always the case in America. Sure, Type B plugs, the ones whose sockets look like surprised ghosts, definitely do have 3 prongs. But Type A plugs, which are easily the more outgoing and competitive of the two, are bipronged. Due to the manner in which each country feeds the wires into the plug, there's also a difference in how they hang from the wall socket. In Britain, the wire hangs vertically from the plug, thus making it harder to yank from the wall by pulling the cable. And the horizontal connection of American plugs means that you can do this in theory, but it's not recommended. One of the biggest concerns for Americans visiting Britain, aside from being forced to eat mushy peas, is the Great British American voltage divide. In Britain, residential voltage is categorised as 230 volts, while it's generally 120 in the US. Moreover, British mains electricity operates on a 50 Hz frequency and America on 60. What does all of this mean? Well, let's just say that you want to use your American laptop in Britain, but it doesn't run on 230 volts, is not dual voltage, or is incompatible with 50 Hz. In that instance, you'll need to run to Toshi Station to pick up some power converters. A power converter will convert the voltage from 230 to the voltage of your laptop. In the event that your power converter doesn't come with a Type G plug adapter, be sure to also pick up one of these. This plug adapter is magic. It allows you to turn your Type A or B American plug into a Type G British plug. For Brits visiting America, the same applies, but in reverse. A step-down power converter or transformer might also be needed to safely use devices in the US. Both are widely available for Americans and Brits on Amazon. I'd say the most obvious difference between British and American hotels is the temperature. When I first stayed in an American hotel, I couldn't believe how cold it was. And not in a Morgan Freeman type way. I mean, this was a DoubleTree. I just mean it was air conditioned. But in Britain, you don't usually have that problem and or luxury, because a significant amount of British hotel rooms are either not air conditioned or not air conditioned well. This is a particular...
Yeah, I went to a hotel room and it was absolutely boiling.
Oh, be it was.
Yeah.
Really warm, yeah.
Like, I literally couldn't have the quilt on me. And there's no AC in the room to, like...
There is, you just didn't know where it was. It's on the side of the wall.
Nah.
You know, for next time.
It's like a little touch thing. You just it goes down.
I did not see that.
No, I know.
I wish I saw that.
Yeah.
problem when you're squished in one with your future in-laws. As with many areas of life, hotels are their own subgenre of British versus...
It's the valet.
I was going to say that, you know, before.
Why didn't you?
Because I thought that was just people who took your cars.
You're like a car valet.
Yeah, you have a
Yeah.
car valet, but also you have the valet that takes your bag up to your room.
I was going to say, is it a valet? But then I was like, no, that's cars, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you get your car, like, valeted.
Valeted, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
And
that
then
makes
clean
sense
it.
then.
I'd never trust that.
Never trust what?
Like, just someone just getting in your car and driving it to a spot.
I don't think like it's a thing over here. I've never done that.
I've never done it, but...
Have you ever done it over here? Had someone, like,
Yeah.
you drive to the entrance and then they'll drive it into the car park for you?
And what if they crashed it?
They're
Then what?
insured. They're insured, it's their responsibility to pay for it.
Did you do it when you were over in America?
Yeah, all the time.
Would you not be like that? I'm the same. I would not trust people at all.
Mm.
Like, do you know what I mean? Someone could literally put on like the vest. Like, I used
So-
to watch A Real Hustle, and they actually did it. Just put on the vest, stood outside, drove off in the
Yeah.
car.
No, so we would drive to actual parking lots where the guy would take the car off you and give you your receipt, and then he would drive it and park it, then bring it back.
I don't, yeah.
Don't know about
Take
that.
they get used to.
Yeah.
American word differences. Take, for instance, the name that we assign to that helpful hotel staff member who helps you with your luggage when you're checking in or out. In Britain and much of the rest of the world, this person is known as a hotel porter. This is the word we use for what Americans might call a bellboy or a bellhop. Also, whether it's situated on the ground or the first floor, Brits and Americans also can't agree what you call that area of the hotel that you enter upon entering. In Britain, we usually opt for the word foyer. Please note that Americans, just like patrons on my most recent secret stream, are divided on whether this should be pronounced foyer or foyer. Either way, Americans will often call this area the lobby. More often than not, Brits will call an elevator a lift.
I would 100% say lobby over foyer. I've never said foyer in my life.
I say foyer all the time.
Yeah, I'd say foyer.
I would 100% say lobby.
On our
Or reception, I'd just say ongoing reception.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fine.
yeah, on
Or
our
ground floor.
apartment group, they were trying to arrange drinks and nibbles at Christmas, and I thought, well, why don't we just all meet in the foyer at 7 o'clock? And people were like, the foyer?
Well, I didn't know what it meant.
I think they knew what it was, but they were like,
Why do you want to go there?
no, why?
Are you using that
word,
that
yeah.
word? That posh word.
No, I would 100% say lobby and lift. I wouldn't say elevator.
Americans will call a lift an elevator, while Americans have about 100 words for a sofa bed. Chief among these are hide-a-bed, bed couch, sleeper sofa, or pull-out sofa. And finally, valet parking. This is something I've encountered far more in the United States than I have in Britain. This is a parking service offered at hotels in which you pay a valet to park your car for you. But the use of valet might be confusing to some Brits, who might think of a valet, often pronounced valet, as a male servant, a fine example of which is the character of Jeeves from P.G. Woodhouse's Jeeves and Wooster novels that I somehow keep mentioning in my videos just by coincidence. That's it for this video. Let me know in the comments below some of the hotel differences that you've encountered. I'm Lawrence Brown. You can follow me on Twitter at LostInThePondUS, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that my videos don't get lost in the pond.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good channel, isn't it, really?
It is. But the thing is, maybe New York, I shouldn't use New York as a option, but when we went to New York, the hotel room was really small.
Was it?
Yeah.
I guess because it's New York, isn't
yeah.
it?
Yeah. I guess if you go
makes
to like
sense.
apartments in New York, they'll all probably be quite small.
Yeah.
Mm.
But the hotel room was really, like, when I was looking through, I was trying to find like quite a big room, and they were really expensive. They were, what I would think was a normal size hotel room was like a suite there. It was like 25 grand a night.
Jesus.
I know.
What?
I'm alright, thanks.
Yeah, it was really expensive.
But is there anything else you would say is different? Because obviously you stay in quite a lot of hotels here and like in the US. Is there anything else that you'd say is different?
Not
Do you know what
really.
they have that we don't really have? Motels.
I was going to ask about that, you know, what is the difference between a motel and a hotel?
A motel is just like, it has lower than a certain amount of rooms, right?
No, so a motel is you would go to a reception and they would give you a key, and then the rooms were.
Are outside, aren't
So
they,
it's
a
like
little bit?
Butlins.
Yeah. That makes
So you
sense.
would go get your key, but it's not in the same building. It's a separate. It's normally like a long line, or it's like like a.
Aren't they normally like in the middle of nowhere for like long drives or something?
No, not really. But when we were looking to go and stay in New Jersey, there wasn't a lot of kind of high-end hotels. It was motels or
So
quite
motels
big.
cheaper, a bit
A
more
lot
like lower
cheaper.
end.
You could rent them by the hour.
Get
That's-
Yeah, I thought, yeah.
By the hour?
Yeah. And it's normally just a bed, a bed and a bathroom.
Oh.
They're very, very basic.
Yeah.
And as far as I know, there's not a place you could go like and have breakfast. You'd have to go across the road or wherever. Down the road to
It's
get-
just rooms.
just a room.
Yeah, anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.
Bye.